You walk into Bass Pro Shops, drop $200 on the latest revolutionary lures, and watch your buddy catch twice as many fish using a $3 pack of minnows and a rusty jig. Sound familiar? What if I told you there are 20 baits? Some you can dig up in your backyard, others collecting dust in your tackle box, that outfish those fancy lures every single time. And the fishing industry doesn't want you to know about half of them. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the secrets the industry tries to bury. Last summer, a guy named Mike from Kentucky ran a test at his favorite Bass Lake. He brought two identical setups. First rod, a $40 swim bait everyone on YouTube was hyping. Second rod, a simple 4-inch green pumpkin Senko worm that cost him 50 cents. Same boat, same spot, same technique. In 3 hours, the expensive swim bait got him 2 bites and 0 fish. The Senko? 14 bass. 14. The smallest one was 3 pounds. He couldn't believe it. Neither could the guys in the tournament happening that same day who spent $500 each on gear and went home with nothing. Mike's buddy Jim was with him, fishing a third rod with live shiners he caught in a minnow trap that morning. Free bait. Jim pulled in 11 largemouth and 4 crappie before lunch. The whole setup cost him $0 because he made the trap from an old milk crate and chicken wire. Down in Florida, an old-timer named Carlos has been guiding fishermen on Lake Okeechobee for 40 years. He charges $300 a day, and people pay it because he puts them on fish when nobody else can. His secret? He doesn't use what the tackle shops sell. Half his clients show up with $500 worth of gear from Cabela's. Carlos hands them a live shiner on a circle hook and tells them to put away the fancy stuff. Every single time, the live bait wins. He's watched this play out thousands of times. The guys who listen catch 30, 40 fish. The ones who insist on using their tournament-grade crankbaits catch maybe 5. Carlos learned this from his grandfather, who guided the same lake in the 1950s. Back then, they didn't have fishing stores on every corner. They used what worked: live bait, cut bait, and a handful of simple artificials they made themselves or bought for pocket change. Up in Michigan, the walleye guys know something the rest of the country is just figuring out. Night crawlers on a jig head will outfish a $15 crankbait any day of the week. The Great Lakes charter captains run the same experiment every season. They set up clients with expensive gear on one side of the boat, simple crawler harnesses on the other. The crawler side doubles the catch rate. Every time. Same water, same depth, same fish. The difference is the bait. A walleye's brain is wired to recognize the scent and movement of a night crawler. It's been hunting them for millions of years. Your fancy plastic minnow with 17 design patents? The fish sees it as a curiosity, not a meal. That's why old-school anglers in Minnesota and Wisconsin still dominate tournaments using baits their fathers taught them. They're not smarter. They just never forgot what actually works. Out in Texas, catfish anglers have known the truth forever. Chicken liver costs $2 a pound and will catch more fish than any stink bait you buy in a store. A guy named Ray in Dallas proved this at a catfish derby. He brought 2 coolers. One had $60 worth of premium prepared baits from every major brand. The other had chicken liver from the grocery store. He fished both. The store-bought stuff got him 3 small channels: the chicken liver, 22 catfish, including a 35-pounder that won him the tournament. Same spot, same day, same hooks. The only variable was the bait. Ray's been fishing that way for 30 years because his dad taught him, and his dad learned it from commercial fishermen on the Mississippi who fed their families this way. This knowledge isn't new. It's old, really old. And the fishing industry has spent decades trying to make you forget it. Why? Because they can't make money selling you what nature provides for free or what works better than their products. Think about it. If every angler knew that a $3 pack of minnows outfishes a $20 crankbait, what happens to the crankbait market? If everyone realized a plain jig head with a night crawler catches more walleye than a $50 a trolling spread, who's buying the expensive stuff? The tackle industry is worth billions. They need you to believe that success comes from the newest, most expensive gear. They sponsor pros. They flood YouTube with videos. They create limited edition colors and tournament-proven designs. But walk down to any local lake where the old guys fish, and you'll see what they're actually using. Worms, minnows, simple jigs, spoons their grandfathers used. That brings me to what I'm going to share with you right now. This list of 20 baits, 10 natural, 10 artificial, represents decades of real-world results. Not marketing, not hype, just what actually catches fish. Some of these you already know but probably overlook. Others might surprise you. All of them work better than 90% of what's sitting on tackle shop shelves. And here's the thing. The fishing industry doesn't want content like this out there. They want you chasing the next game-changer lure. But if you learn these 20 baits and when to use them, you'll outfish most people on any body of water in America. I've compiled everything the industry hides from you in the book Fishing at the Highest Level, The Water Game. Inside, you'll find lure selection strategies that actually work, reading water in fresh and salt water, understanding structure and where fish really hold, current and tide patterns that control every bite, positioning and approach angles that matter more than your bait, fish behavior patterns so you can predict their location, and the mindset that separates weekend anglers from serious fishermen. Everything in one place, no fluff, straight to the point. Links in the description. Let's start with the natural baits, because these are what fish have been eating since before humans existed. Number 1. Live Shiners. A largemouth bass will eat a shiner over almost anything else. Why? Because shiners are everywhere in their habitat. They're easy prey. They flash silver when they panic. A bass's brain has been hardwired for millions of years to recognize that flash as an easy meal. You can buy shiners at bait shops for $6 a dozen, or you can trap them yourself for free. Either way, they'll outfish 95% of artificial lures in bass water. Hook them through the back, cast them near structure, and wait. That's it. The bass does the rest. Number 2. Night crawlers. Walleye, smallmouth, trout, catfish, panfish. Everything eats worms. A night crawler on a jig head or a slip sinker rig is one of the most effective setups ever created. You can dig them after a rain or buy a container for $3. They stay alive in your fridge for weeks. The scent profile alone triggers feeding responses in almost every freshwater species. Fish don't need to see it to find it. They smell it from 50 feet away in murky water. Number 3. Cut bait. This is any piece of fish you cut up and use as bait. Shad, herring, menhaden, whatever. Catfish, stripers, and saltwater species go crazy for it. A charter captain in North Carolina told me he hasn't bought bait in 10 years. He catches bait fish, cuts them into chunks, and uses them for everything. Fresh cut bait releases oils and amino acids into the water. Predatory fish can't ignore it. It's their natural food source. You're not trying to trick them. You're giving them exactly what they hunt every day. Number 4. Crawfish. Bass, catfish, walleye, and even some saltwater species eat crawfish. Live ones are deadly. You can trap them in creeks, buy them at bait shops, or use artificial soft plastic imitations. A live crawfish on a Carolina rig, or hooked through the tail will catch fish when nothing else works. In rocky areas, especially around ledges and boulders, bass are actively hunting these things. Match the hatch, and you'll catch fish. Number 5. Chicken liver. Catfish bait. Period. It's cheap, it's effective, and it's been catching catfish for 100 years. The smell is intense. Catfish have taste receptors all over their bodies, not just in their mouths. They can taste chicken liver in the water from 100 yards away. Use a treble hook or a bait holder hook. Cast it out and wait for the rod to bend. You'll catch channels, blues, and flatheads. It works everywhere from farm ponds to rivers. Number 6. Minnows. Not shiners. Smaller bait fish like fathead minnows or emerald shiners. Crappie, perch, and trout love them. You can buy them for $2 a dozen. Hook them through the lips or under the dorsal fin and fish them under a bobber or on a jig. In cold water, when fish are lethargic and won't chase lures, a slow-moving minnow gets bites. It's the difference between catching 3 fish and catching 30. Number 7. Leeches. Walleye anglers in the Midwest swear by them. A leech on a slip bobber or a jig is almost unfair. Leeches move naturally in the water. They don't look like anything artificial. Walleye hit them hard. You can buy them at most bait shops in walleye country. They're tough. One leech can last for multiple fish. In lakes like Mille Lacs in Minnesota, leeches are responsible for more tournament wins than any lure ever made. Number 8. Grasshoppers. In late summer, when hoppers are everywhere, trout and panfish key in on them. Fly fishermen have known this forever, but you don't need a fly rod. Hook a live grasshopper through the body and drift it near the surface in a trout stream. You'll catch fish like it's magic. It's not magic, it's matching what the fish are already eating. You can catch grasshoppers in any field in about 5 minutes. Number 9. Corn. Yeah, corn. Carp, trout, and panfish eat it. It's cheap. A can costs 80 cents. You can flavor it with vanilla or anise. Thread a few kernels on a hook, add a small split shot, and fish it on the bottom. Carp anglers in Europe have perfected this. American anglers think it's weird, but it works. Trout stocked in lakes are raised on pellet feed that looks and smells like corn. When you fish corn, you're giving them something familiar. Number 10. Dough balls. Old-school catfish and carp bait. Mix flour, cornmeal, and water into a paste. Add some garlic powder or strawberry jello for scent, and form it into balls around a treble hook. It's been catching fish for generations. You can make a batch for under $2 that'll last all season. The scent disperses in the water, attracting fish from a distance. Once they find it, they inhale it. Hook set. Fish on. Now let's talk artificials. These are lures that have proven themselves over decades, not gimmicks that showed up last year. Number 11. Jigs. A plain lead head jig with a soft plastic trailer is the most versatile lure ever made. Bass, walleye, crappie, pike, saltwater species, everything eats jigs. You can fish them deep or shallow, fast or slow. A 1 4-ounce jig head costs 50 cents. A pack of 3-inch paddle tail grubs costs $3. That combo will catch fish in any water, any time of year. The industry has tried to reinvent the jig 1,000 times with fancy colors and features, but the basic jig still wins. Number 12. Inline spinners. The original Mepps spinner was designed in the 1930s. It's still catching fish. Trout, bass, pike, and panfish hit spinners hard. The flash and vibration trigger aggressive strikes. A size 2 or 3 spinner costs $4 and will last for years. Cast it, reel it in. That's the whole technique. It works in streams, rivers, and lakes. The fish see it, chase it, and eat it. No special skills required. Number 13. Spoons. A silver or gold spoon is one of the oldest lures in existence. It wobbles when you retrieve it, imitating a wounded baitfish. Pike, trout, salmon, and bass crush spoons. A Johnson silver minnow or a Daredevil costs $5 and will catch fish until you lose it. These lures have been in tackle boxes since the 1800s. They work because they mimic the exact movement and flash of a dying fish. The easiest target a predator can find. Number 14. Soft plastic worms. The Zoom Trick worm, the Senko, the Finesse worm. These are bass fishing staples. A pack costs $4 and contains 10 baits. Texas rig them, wacky rig them, or fish them weightless. They sink slowly, they move naturally, and bass eat them. In tournaments, when the bite is tough and the pros are struggling, the guy who picks up a worm usually catches fish. It's not flashy. It doesn't make for exciting footage, but it works. Number 15. Crankbaits. Not the $20 imported models with laser-etched scales. I'm talking about a basic square bill or medium diver. A $6 Rapala or Strike King will catch as many fish as a $25 boutique bait. Crankbaits cover water fast and trigger reaction strikes. Bass, pike, walleye, and muskie hit them. Fish them around rocks, stumps, and weed edges. The wobble and rattle get attention. The fish bite. Number 16. Topwater poppers. There's nothing like watching a bass explode on a surface lure. A simple popper costs $5. You can fish it at dawn or dusk in calm water. Pop it, pause it, pop it again. Bass come up from 10 feet down to hit it. The visual strike is half the reason people fish topwater, but the effectiveness is real. In low-light conditions, when fish are feeding near the surface, a popper outfishes almost everything else. Number 17. Chatterbaits. These are newer than some baits on this list, but they've earned their spot. A bladed jig creates vibration and flash that triggers strikes in dirty water. Bass and pike hammer them. A Z-Man chatterbait costs $6. Add a swimbait trailer, and you've got a deadly combo. Burn it fast or slow roll it. Both work. In stained water, when visibility is low, the vibration helps fish locate the bait. Number 18. Swim baits. A paddle-tail swim bait on a jig head is effective for almost any predator species. Bass, walleye, stripers, redfish, snook. They all eat swim baits. A 4-inch Kitek or Strike King swim bait costs about $1 each. The tail kicks naturally on the retrieve, imitating a fleeing bait fish. You can fish them at any depth, any speed. They're simple, cheap, and they catch fish. Number 19. Jerkbaits. A suspending jerkbait like a Rapala X-Rap or Lucky Craft Pointer is a cold water killer. When bass are sluggish and won't chase fast-moving lures, a jerkbait twitched and paused triggers bites. They suspend in the strike zone. The fish watches it, gets annoyed or curious, and eats it. A good jerkbait costs $10, $20, but it'll last for years and catch hundreds of fish. Number 20. Tube jigs. Smallmouth bass are obsessed with tubes. A 3-inch tube rigged on a jig head or Texas rigged looks like a crawfish, a baitfish, or just something edible. They cost $3 for a 10-pack. In rocky areas, around boulders and gravel, smallmouth inhale them. Largemouth eat them too. They've been a staple in bass fishing since the 1980s. Simple, cheap, effective. Here's what ties all of this together. Fish have specific sensory systems that drive their feeding behavior. Their lateral line detects vibration and movement. Their olfactory system picks up scent molecules in the water at concentrations we can't even measure with instruments. Their eyes see contrast and movement better than color. When you use live bait, you're triggering all three systems. A live shiner vibrates, releases amino acids and oils, and moves erratically. A fish's brain recognizes this as prey. It's not a decision, it's instinct. When you use effective artificial lures, you're imitating these same triggers. A jig bouncing along the bottom creates vibration. A spinnerbait flashes and thumps. A soft plastic worm releases salt and scent into the water. The best artificials don't try to look exactly like real prey. They exaggerate the key triggers that make fish strike. Here's the thing the tackle industry doesn't want you to understand. Fish haven't evolved to eat plastic crankbaits with holographic finishes. They've evolved to eat minnows, crawfish, worms, and insects. When you present them with the real thing or a simple imitation that hits the right triggers, they eat it. When you present them with an over-engineered lure designed to catch fishermen, not fish, the results are inconsistent. The most successful anglers, the ones who catch fish when everyone else struggles, use simple, proven baits. They're not chasing trends. They're applying knowledge that's been tested over decades. Let me tell you exactly how to apply this. If you're fishing for bass, start with a live shiner or a soft plastic worm. If you're after walleye, use a night crawler on a jig or a leech under a slip bobber. Catfish, chicken liver or cut bait. Trout, night crawlers, minnows, or a small inline spinner. Crappie, minnows under a bobber or a small jig. These aren't guesses. This is what works across the country. In every type of water, in every season. Adjust your presentation based on conditions. Slow down in cold water, speed up when fish are active, but stick with proven baits. The guys catching 30 fish while you catch 3 aren't lucky. They're using what actually works. When you're choosing artificial lures, ignore the hype. You don't need 50 colors of the same crankbait. You need a few basic colors in a few proven styles. Natural colors, shad, crawfish, green pumpkin, black, work in most situations. Bright colors, chartreuse, white, orange, work in stained water or low light. Buy simple, affordable versions. A $6 lure catches just as many fish as a $25 lure. The difference is marketing. The pros use expensive gear because they're sponsored. You're not. Save your money and buy more tackle, not better tackle. For natural baits, keep them fresh. Live bait works best when it's healthy and active. Dead or dying bait still works, but the movement and scent of fresh bait gets more bites. Store night crawlers in the fridge with damp newspaper. Keep minnows in an aerated bucket or live well. Chicken liver stays good in the fridge for a week or in the freezer for months. Cut bait can be frozen in portions and thawed before your trip. You're not running a bait shop. You just need enough for a day of fishing. Now here's the part where I tie this all together. The fishing industry wants you to think that the secret to catching more fish is buying more gear. New rods, new reels, new lures. They release limited edition colors every year. They sponsor YouTube channels to push products. They create artificial scarcity with exclusive designs. But if you talk to the guys who actually catch fish for a living, guides, commercial anglers, tournament pros who aren't on camera, they'll tell you the truth. They use simple gear and proven baits. A guide in Louisiana catching redfish all day uses live shrimp and a popping cork. A walleye guide on Lake Erie uses crawler harnesses and jigs. A bass guide on Kentucky Lake uses live shiners and soft plastics. None of them are using the latest $30 square bill with laser-etched gills.